Hey, yo. So this is what I've been thinking, right? So, um, I was thinking about my sisters and the event of my mom's passing. I was thinking about how it has influence on my decision towards uh, whether I'm really going to join the army or something like that, you know? And these talks with AI are like questioning me as to my influence and my reasons for wanting to do it, etc. Um, I've just my whole life when opportunities show up, I fail to pull the trigger. Now I'm in the mud to a degree because I have responsibilities. Everything's a sign. Everything's lining up. I'm viewing life different. I'm about to turn 29. I don't know if I'm like, placebo tricking myself, but either way, I'm still gonna try to hypnotize myself. But it's like a man who's like a $4,000 a year man who listens to Bob Proctor, who was the same, who says you don't need to be smart to make money. And yesterday I went on a tangent and I'm talking to my girl about all this stuff and how it's the technological age and how we should be making money online. But then I'm like, well, I should shut the fuck up because, I'm not doing it. So it's like I can't talk about it because I'm not on it. And she got annoyed because I had so much energy, but really I was trying to wake up and I avoided working out because I'm like, I can conserve my energy. I usually would go all out with legs, but I'm going to conserve it, but that was bullshit. I knew I should have worked out anyway. And then I'm going to go play basketball with my friends because they asked me to come. And then I got in an argument with the girl the whole day, so I'm like, well, I already know today's fucked. And I feel like that was a spiritual bypass as well, bro. Because my spirit was telling me, like, go. Like, from the moment I woke up, I'm like, okay, I got to get this shit out of the way so I can go play ball with my boys. And just my life has been working on her clock. I'm looking at the bills now, bro. And there's a reason for everything, bro, that I'm getting in this consciousness. My mind is right. I feel like I've been front loading so I can execute a plan. Like, the time for writing encouraging shit on the wall is over, right? And that's what I had up there. And I erased it, but I knew it was time because she asked me to erase it. And I was like, it's time. Because, I've been gathering information for 4 years. I've been plotting and planning and all this shit. Now it's like, I got a plan. Basically, that's what it is. But I've been thinking about every little thing that I want to do. And I know every little piece across every single level, to making 20K a year, 50K a year, 80, 100, 190, 2, 3, but with the plan of making 700,000 by 2027, But it's planning every single aspect. And really, I'm not even supposed to tell you, but who knows? I'm going to start a non-profit organization in honor of my mother. So, I was just thinking right now, G. And really, because I was contemplating what would happen if I go see my friends who I haven't spoken to in a while. And when I had just seen my one friend, when I went to the house, we had to talk about it. And I was like, damn, bro, that's crazy because, I haven't even really thought about it. But processing how everything goes, because I was thinking, how would I tell, my good friend, the other one, how would I tell him, what happened? So I was just running through all the events and everything that happened, and I'm thinking, damn, it's kind of crazy. But it's because I was talking about how, I felt at peace because I at least had my last moments with my mama. I was on her bedside, so I let it all out. I told her I'm sorry. I told her, you can't go. I was like, we have to fly to Jerusalem like we always talked about. We have to go see all the state parks like we were talked about, And it's just interesting because my mom was an office administrator. And the way everything went down, my mama didn't eat for 14 days. Her oldest daughter called me after 14 days. So that's what made it so bad was that it was a traumatic experience, and it affected not only me, but who cares about me, but my sister and my aunt and my other aunt and everybody from back in the day whom I don't even speak to now, which is, you know, I got family and people that love me despite my past, despite decisions I made, and they still support me and they still reach out to me, and then I avoid them because of guilt and shame, which is the lowest tier on the vibration and frequency. And I've been living like that for over between 4 and 6 years. Negative self-talk. And then I saw this thing yesterday, was so interesting, just playing this YouTube loops, just because I got the premium, so no commercials, and I'm able to add a queue, and I just, the whole day I'm just listen. It was a vibe, listening to music videos, listening to documentaries, and I'm zooming because I have this thing. If it's over an hour, I go 21 minutes in for a little bit, boom. You know, if it's a shorter video, about a quarter of the way, then 75% of the way, you know, you get the point. But there's so much shit out there, and at first I'm thinking, damn, am I going crazy? Because, like, I'm trying to learn all these subjects, I'm trying to obtain all this information, I'm interested in how everything works, and I'm like, bro, how you gonna try to go to school when you have bills and shit? All of this stuff is due, right? But you're only building up false responsibility. Because I was looking at this boot camp prep, this book online, and it's talking about how, like, oh, get all your stuff in order. If you have a will, if you have children, if you have assets, if you have a car. And I was like, bruv, I don't have none of that. And I was telling AI this morning, I'm like, it's kind of like I set myself up subconsciously because I front loaded all this information. I'm gonna go a time without technology, without these motivational quotes, without reading, without getting all this information, you know, without setting up a daily schedule, habits, because the key to success is successful habits. Like, you build enough habits, enough dubs, which will create a good day, enough days create a good week, and enough good weeks create a good month, enough good months create good years. But it's like habits. We are what we continuously do, right? Or routinely do. So fall back on routine. That's all I've known. So the reason why journaling and push-ups, is that been the only thing I've stuck to for the last 2 years? You know, not working a 9 to 5 and making the money, but it's because I realize if I make the money, I'm gonna stay stagnant still. Like, there's people making $100,000 and they're still living above their means and living paycheck to paycheck. You're only one paycheck away from that. That's why COVID hit so hard, because people lost their balance, didn't have the income, have to stay inside. You know, blessed, I wasn't even affected by that. Even if I was to continue working, which is crazy logically. Like, I had a job, as a welder's assistant, making the most money that I've ever have. This was during COVID. So lawfully, they even printed out papers and gave it to everyone. We were straight. Like, don't worry about being let go. We're not, no layoffs here. I had a blessing like that, making the most money I ever had. That's the time where I put the most in savings that I've ever had. And this was staying with my mama, which didn't even have to worry about bills, kind of like here. Had the whole upstairs myself, a plan to build a studio and to have a guest room so my friends could come by and I could make them real producers and I could be a real rapper. Just did the time, and I'm like, oh, well, this sounds like crap. Knowing I needed better software, more products, you know, put more money into it. Like, I could have made that legit studio, but I did a little honky-dory fucking, I don't know what the fuck that was. But, you know, just some fucking redneck screw up. I don't know, you know, tying shit on a string. And it's like, I knew that this isn't what I was looking for, but I was like, but I knew subconsciously, put more work into it. It will sound better over the years, right? But, hell, I'm just wondering, why have I been doing so many push-ups? Why have I been doing all this shit? Because now, trying to work a regular job, it's like, bruv, especially with the age, you're trying to do a job and work out these crazy numbers. You were only working out these crazy numbers because you didn't have a job. Now that you know that a majority of your day has to be the focus of money, right? I'm used to spending what it was at first: 6 hours working out, then 4 hours working out, then 2 hours working out, then 1 hour working out. Now I'm trying to condense that down to 45 minutes working out, to now having to be like 15, 20 minutes long. Like real quick burst, even if I just split it in twos, because they say necessarily it's good to have two workouts. So a little endorphin boost in the morning and then one midday to keep you, because you gotta deep breathing, do some breathing exercise, what they could call meditation. Get that air. But it's like, bro, also my diet, what I've been eating is like, and spending, it's like I see how everybody else moves around me. It's the same shit. You get a little extra money, so you step out of character and you go buy all this shit. It's like, bro, I just had a girls' weekend with this girl. Basically, oh, we go out, we get ice cream, we get candy, we get whatever we feel like getting, that instant gratification, and we just go out and get it. Oh, I want some soda, so let's go to the store. I want some ice cream, so let's go hit the spot. I want some candy, let's go to the... You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all we did. And that was cool. Like, I was chilling, you know? Like, no negative towards her, no down towards her. But, you know, who the hell is outside my house, B? Unless it's that damn cat. And if it's that cat... I swear. I bet it is a cat, man. Well, I knew it was a creature of some kind, man. Damn. Nah, but you know, too much comfortability, too much instant gratification for me personally. You know, but really it's environment. Like, what type of environment are you trying to create around you? Because my girl told me yesterday, she's like, you're always on your phone. I'm like, bruv, it's good if you're productive. I'm trying to tell her, like, I'm trying to get in the zone where I'm making online money. It's not passive money. I'm not looking, you know, it's like, I need that militaristic schedule so I can do 8 posts a day, 8 different platforms. You know, I'm telling her marketing shit that, like, who gives a like, she's like, she even told me, she's like, Josh, like, this is too much, you're talking too much, like, calm down. You know, but I'm telling her all this shit. I'm like, oh, these girls that are just posting, they're getting hundreds of likes. And all this shit, I knew I'm not supposed to be telling her this shit, but bada bing, bada boom. This is all shit that I've known since 2017, but also it's like, that compared to what I know I want to learn: physiology, nutrition, fitness coach, mechanics for car, mechanics for diesel, mechanics for airplanes, carpentry, the ability to build my own house, which includes plumbing, electricity, HVAC knowledge, but that all comes near the end due to the diesel mechanics. And then lastly is the livestock and the crops, the agriculture, you know, self-sufficiency at the very end. It's like I've been formulating this from the very beginning, what I would do. And if I were to start at the very, very bottom with no money, like, I like to daydream and say, oh, I'm going to go to boot camp. But it's like, bro, you need to last at least 2 more months. Even if the military helps you, like, break your lease, you know? You were going to use the military to get some benefits, right? And considering, oh, I'll marry this girl and I'll actually follow through. It's like, no. I want to join single. I'm just saying. I just want to join. I never pictured myself joining married. Like, if I joined, just because of my headspace. Because then, if I know I'm in a relationship or I'm with this person, I'm thinking about them, B. I know it might sound fucked up, but it's like I know if I do join, like I need to do it solo, so I have nothing going through my mind. That's just how I am. I can't have nothing going through my mind if I were to put myself through a trial like that. And it's life changing. That's what the book said yesterday. It was like, don't. He's like, I made the mistake, or I know someone who made the mistake of leaving their house and they just left it. I just left it because I just assumed I'm coming back. And he's like, no, you need to treat this like it's a life change. Like, you know what I'm saying? Put your valuables together, put everything in a box, and entrust it to someone, or entrust it in a spot, storage. You know, and hell, that's it, fam. Like, just make, because he said he left everything out, and then he's like, my brothers took some stuff or borrowed some stuff, and everything was out of place and all this stuff. So he's like, you know, treat it like you're going. And it's like taking care of all this business, and I'm like, bruv, I ain't got none of that. I don't have a car, no car payments. Like, I don't even have insurance. It's like, if anything, joining the Army is going to be a benefit, because it's going to give me health insurance for once, consistent income for once, and what? I need a strict schedule, right? I'm looking to keep everything tidy as fuck. I'm looking to wake up at 4 a.m. I'm looking to work out first things first. I'm looking to go back to school. I want to study. To even do that, you have to take the ASVAB. And I'm thinking, how can I excel in that? How can I get better at that? Because I always ran away from math. Now I'm thinking I want to chase it. And that's what sparked everything, bruv. It's like I want to learn. And really, they have also debt counseling. And I'm like, bruv, what do I owe Hallmark College, which is a school to go to aeronautics, and you get your A&P license, so you're federally working. You also get a bachelor degree, which it takes 2 years to obtain, but if you go through them, you get it in 15 months, right? And that schedule is tight-knit, but that's the type of stuff that I need, bruh. Because if you're going to work Monday through Friday, or go to school Monday through Friday, you have to be there at like, what, 7 a.m., let's say. So you have to be there at 7 a.m., you get out at 3, but really you knew you were supposed to take the time. I think you get out at like 1, 2, but then you get like an hour and a half to go to the library, to go to the computer room. And I told myself, okay, fuck that. We're going to damn tutoring every single day so I can look at the book, read the book, study, all this shit. And I got distracted, I didn't follow through. I knew I was supposed to pivot because I was doing burpees back then, but I knew I'm supposed to switch it up and, go to the gym. Like, I knew in my conscious, but I didn't. Okay, burpees are over. We're going to transition to the gym, because I ended up going straight to the gym anyway, and that's when I stopped doing push-ups and burpees, and I just went all gym. So I've always transitioned push-ups, burpees, gym, but I didn't know it was time to pivot. Now what I feel like is it's time to pivot. I've been doing crazy fucking push-ups for like the last year straight. Just straight push-ups, no gym. Now I've just been incorporating a 15-pound dumbbell, and I'm really starting to look forward to those days, which kind of makes me know, like, okay, I need this efficiency. I need this timely manner. That's why it's good to have a morning routine. But for me, I got to wake up, hit the door. And that's kind of like what it is with the military anyway. Okay, on and on. But it's like, I really started recording this because my mother is the influence for making me want to join the military. She knew I needed this discipline. Then I went on a tangent thinking about, what happened with my mother. The reason why it was so traumatic, because she stopped eating for 14 days. Like, yeah, she had cancer, but that's not what she died of, because she didn't eat. So anyway, when I saw her, like, she hadn't spoken in 14 days. She hadn't eaten in 14 days. And when she saw me, it was the first time she wanted to talk, but nothing came out. She regurgitated. And then she was trying to drink. She was trying to eat water, or she was trying to eat and drink. And she had this milkshake, and she started drinking that shit down, bruh. And I knew she hadn't eaten in 14 days. It was the first time she was, like, trying to consume. Because she wanted to talk to me, and when she tried to speak, like, words didn't come out, but she regurgitated. And she kept regurgitating every time she would eat something, bro. I think that's why, like, because it's like a traumatic event, I guess. I think it would have, like, broke like my sister Sarah or something. I'm kind of glad that she didn't see my mom like that, to be honest with you. You know, I know my sister is sad, like, you know, but I think the circumstances are for a reason. She was on her way to see Nathaniel's mom or great grandmother or whoever. And honestly, I got no hate towards that. I know my girlfriend was mad, but I don't know, bro. She's not in touch like that. You know, no digs at her. But I'm just saying, bro. I knew in that moment it's all for a reason. You know, I don't think my sister would have handled that. You know, but I know she feels guilty because she's like, oh no, I should have came earlier. It's like honestly, at that point, no. Like you can feel bad about not showing up. You know, over the last year, maybe you could have came once or twice, 3 times. But she just moved to a new city. What are you gonna do? You know. And maybe that's a sign I should call and check up on her because I know it kind of hit her kind of hard. But it's like, bro, I never realized till today. It's like, you know what? That kind of was traumatic. So I'm kind of glad you weren't there. You know, I don't think she would have handled it pretty well to see my mom in those conditions. If she took the flight and the time, she would have been there in the next 13, 16 hours. My mom would have been out by then. Honestly, because she was losing consciousness. She was at the last brink of her consciousness when I got there, and I had a moment with her, and I think that's why I had so much peace, and that's really what made me start going on a tangent right now. Because I'm like, I had peace about the whole thing, bruv. I even told my dad and my sister because at first they were all riled up because it was all of a sudden. That's why it was a traumatic event. That's why it touched everybody so deep. That's why when my mom's best friend, we call her Auntie, she like woke up in a frenzy, and her son-in-law even called my dad like I've never seen this woman, and I understand because she's a calm demeanor just like my mother. So the fact that she woke up in a frenzy, she's like, the funeral's today, and like it wasn't that day, it was like a week early or some shit, but she woke up like wild, you know, took her for a spin because she said she just so happened to be telling herself like, I need to go visit Candace, and R.I.P. man, and she ended up not going to the funeral just because like it broke her up pretty bad, like damn bad. I know it hit my sister bad, and my dad. Everyone had an emotional, spiritual event. I would say I definitely did, but I handled mine different. But you know, I'm that way, I guess. People would call it stoic. I don't know what the heck it is because I do break character a lot. But it's like I'm able to receive information, and I don't know. I didn't cry when I learned my grandma died, but you know, and even with this event, like I cried, I did my due, but I think I had more peace about it. Like I was upset still, but I wasn't distraught because I didn't just learn news. Oh, your mom's not doing well. Okay. A few days later, oh, mom, she's gonna die in a few days. Oh, okay. Mom died. And to not see her, I could see how that could do on somebody. You know, to not have those final moments or really communication because even though she didn't talk, I felt we communicated. You know, I was like, and I pretty much know without a shadow of a doubt she prayed over me, G. And to me, I feel like I'm on a spiritual journey when I go on a 1-day fast, when I go on a 3-day fast. And my girl will get mad at me. She's like, why aren't you eating? It's like, no, I'm doing this for a purpose. You accept an identity that you get hangry and you get angry when you're hungry. I think my body, my spirit is trying to tell me something when I examine every thought. So when you start getting hungry, I'm like, why is this making me mad? Why is this making me upset? I remember the first time doing that, like the 2-3 years ago when I stayed with my dad and I was practicing that first type stuff. And like, yes, health, because health was always why I wanted to do it at first, but more spiritual. Even with the retention, I want to conserve my energy. First, it was for health alone basis. I want to hit leg days, family. I want to stay strong. Fighters go 2 weeks without doing nothing, you dig? But ultimately more spiritual, because I feel spiritual awakening, connection when I'm on retention. And when I go certain lengths without eating or without consuming the thing, because 90% of your serotonin, right, is produced in the gut. So you literally are what you eat. So if you ate no processed food and all that other crap, basically everything that we know not to do, but it tastes better, that instant gratification, G. Anyway, I felt somewhat of peace with my mom's passing, and I feel it's because I got it all out. I told her I was sorry, you know. I was able to communicate and hold my peace. She was able to like kind of pat me and say, basically, it's okay. You could tell through that communication just by touch, just by love, right? No word needed. And then she kept saying, like, come here like 7, 8, 9 times. I'm like, you trying to say something? You trying to say something? She couldn't speak. And I just hugged her because I'm like, bro, I wonder when's the last time she's had human touch? When's the last time someone just hugged her and just said it's okay, or to be there just to say I'm here? You know, her daughters, they came through, but I know more than likely they just popped in and said, hey ma, how you doing? Oh, you don't look too good. Well, we love you, bye. Basically, that's the vibe. You dig? Like, it's just checking in saying, damn, you're not doing too good, man. Ooh. Like, that's how it was since the very first time I went to the hospital, B. Anyway. It's like they didn't really want to be involved in her life, you know? That's the vibe I feel. And honestly, it should have been brought up saying, hey, I get a feeling that you don't really want mom around. Is that true? You know, and I also predict it's because, like, she doesn't approve of your lifestyle. Where, like, my dad and my sister think that they don't approve of my mom because she married a black man. But, like, I think it's because there's some downright people that don't, you know, they're just worldly people, watching their football games, getting drunk, not considering their actions or verbatim, really. Not, you know, I think no conscious of God, really, not thinking about God. Like, you know, they say the verses and stuff, but, you know. Or at least the head honcho. I don't know what that is, bro. Like, they're thinking it's racism. I'm thinking it's just because their lifestyle my mom didn't approve of, and they knew that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want to live their life, which is kind of like a kid and their parent, or like or a person in God. It's like, yeah, but, you know, I want control of my life. Yeah, I think that's the vibe. Because, hell, I felt it, you know? Like, I don't want to go around. She's going to be playing Christian music and listening to pastors, and you know the conversation's always going to turn back to God. You know, because even in our conversations about events or decisions, she would say, at some point, she's like, yeah, but you know what? You're not asking, what does God want you to do? You know what that situation over there, you know what that group of people aren't doing? They're not considering God. She always reminded me of Charles Stanley, the pastor, because he's like gentle spirit, bruv. He's older, but he's like, you know, you wouldn't imagine him to ever lose his temper or to ever cuss. Like, that was my mama. So she always reminded me of him because he's a pastor, preaching, gentle, all this, but when it came down to the law, saying, oh, we don't do this, you knew it because his voice turned stern, and he's not even, you know, the type of person to get like that, you dig? But when he does say it, he'd be like, that's God's discipline, and that's God's love. I see that's God's love. I can point it, that's God's love, because it's gentle spirit, no hatred, no envy, no, you know what I'm saying? The Good Samaritan. But when it came down to that law, we don't do that. We don't cross that line. And that's the part. For me, for my sisters, for everyone involved, G. Because, you know, yeah, it might seem like high and mighty, but really, it's like, these are my morals, these are my standards. I have a set book of, you know, you're going against this. I can't accept that. That's the part. You dig? That's the part. So it's the gentleness, but when it's like, we're crossing the line now. You know it and I know it. That sternness, right? You can be gentle and kind, but it doesn't mean you're soft. It doesn't mean that, I don't know, man, but it's like just that switch from you're gentle, you're kind. Be like, hey now. That's basically what it's like. It's like, hey, we don't do that around here. And I think that they just totally didn't want that aura, you know what I'm saying? That's why I avoided her a lot of times. That's why I didn't want to live with her, because I'm like, oh my Lord. You see, but you're always going to have stuff like that. I'm like that now with this girl. I'm like that with my dad. And it's like, I'm trying to run off to the army, and it's like, bro, you're going to have a roommate, G, man. You're going to be bunking with other people who aren't trying to control their emotions or anything like you, who aren't thinking like you are. Hell, you think it's bad living with this one woman. Like, what do you think is going to be with a lot of young men with high testosterone, you know what I'm saying, who might be trying to prove a point? It's like, you think it's going to get better, G? You know? So, it's like, hell, stop that complaining right now. Because really what it is it's just stress management. And just getting the objectives, overcoming the objectives, man. You know, you're allowed 5 minutes to bitch, but after that, go mode. How are we going to fix this? That's what it needs to be like. You know? So I'm trying to create an environment of learning and plotting, planning for like major fucking deals. Think big. Think 5 steps ahead. I'm thinking 5 years ahead. I'm thinking 5 months ahead. I'm thinking 5 days at a time. That's what it needs to be like. And I feel like I've been front loading all this information, G, since 2017. I know what to do. You just have to hit it at a consistent basis. Not 1,000 kicks in one day, not 1,000 squats in one day, but one kick every day for 1,000 days. You know, don't just go hard in the gym for 3 hours like I do. Don't go walking X amount, 20 steps and shit. Don't be doing 1,000 push-ups. You know, just do it 3 times a week, every week. You know, just do your studying and journaling and reflection and goal planning and setting, you know, every 6 days, once a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, split it up, G. I'm going to do the content creation. I'm going to do the editing. I'm going to, you know, do the self-investment. I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to buy this equipment. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go to school, shit like that. But you just do it every day. I'm going to read 9 pages a day, but I'm just going to do it every single day. You have the time. You're just not making the time. And at this point in my life, I cannot be consuming. I've known that for years. I've been telling myself, that's why I think I'm front loading as well. Because the time's going to come where I'm not consuming no movies. I've had in the sense of my mind for the last few years, when I see a really good movie that I've seen 100 times, but I haven't seen it in a few years, I'm like, I'm going to watch it. And I have this sense, I just feel it. When I'm watching it, I'm like, I really enjoy this. I'm going to savor this because I feel like this might be the last time I watch this movie. And especially like with a lot of cartoons and shit, like Finding Nemo, I was like, that's a classic. I'm going to watch it because I probably won't watch it ever again. Because I feel like there's going to be a time where I'm not able to listen to music like all the time, or watch YouTube videos all the time and learn stuff, because that's what I've been doing for the last couple of years. Like, I'm watching YouTube for 8 hours straight, 9 hours straight, but I'm just shit that I'm learning, taking notes and shit. That's what I've been doing for years, bruv. You know. This has been the first time, actually, I've gone like 2 weeks without writing in my damn paper journal. That is the longest I've ever gone without journaling, and I don't like it. I'm trying to get back. Because I was like, I'm just going to journal in my phone and write it all at once on one day. I can't. I got to wake up at that 4 a.m. wake up time and do my journaling then, because it would just be real quick, then it's straight to the work. Exercise, go to work. That needs to be my personal deal. I just operate better. And yeah, you're not going to hit it 100% of the time, but it's like, it helps me function better. At least having that morning routine. And I have to eat the frog, do the hardest thing for me, and that right now is maintaining a job. You know what I was thinking the last couple of days? I've never had a gun pulled on me. I've never had something traumatic to that degree, right? Everything was paid for me. Everything was taken care of me. I've never been exposed to something that traumatic. You know, and I was thinking about that. I was like, damn, the last person I was working with talking about how he had a gun pulled on him like 4 times. I'm like, damn, bro, you know what? I've never had that. And I'm also thinking, like, what's that feeling when you're in a like fucking like run or fucking, that's what it is, right? The 2 senses. It's like a fight or run, fight or flight. And it's like, what happens when that instinct pops up? And I think that's what messed me up is, you know, I'm not gonna lie, but on some medication, I'm thinking, and this is all comes to this. Now I know it plain as day, but then I was questioning it. Now it's for sure. It's like it took away my instinct, my that rush, cause like when your blood boils and it's like when your heart racing and you kind of like pause for a second. It's like you need that instinct, that natural. You can't just rely on this chemical balance fucking process to say, okay, I'm gonna go and do that, to keep you in line, because it's that natural instinct, that intuition to which we need to be in tune with, inclined, and so in that split second fight or flight, you know what to do. We embrace or we retreat. And really, even in the retreat, because this was at night, like at 3 a.m, bruv. And that's a spiritual hour anyway, from 3:30 to 4. So it was like, bruv, literally in there, and I'm seeing somebody in the dark, like a homeless man, and he's yelling and shit, or cussing, and I'm like, oh, and I start running, but just, it felt so bad. I felt like I messed myself up, G. Because I was like, oh, like freaked out. And it's like, that's what the problem was, bro. You like, you're trying to overcome something with a substance or something. You're not relying on your own instinct, and that's what we need to be inclined with. Your intuition, that small, still voice, your subconscious, that whisper, which people want to title as something else, but it's really the authentic voice of God. It's the Holy Spirit that's trying to talk to you, but it whispers when everything is good, and it yells when everything is bad. Like it tried to, but you can't hear it because you're distracted or you're listening to something else, but it's there, but you can't recognize it because you're not even familiar with the Word of God. You're not even reading the pages, right? That's how you get familiar with the voice of God, is reading the Bible, His instruction, keeping His commandments, meditate on it like daily. It's telling you good stuff. People want to have these affirmations, but it's like it's already there for the taking, yes. But all glory to God. What's your intention? Are you working as if unto God? When you get paid, where does your money go? That's where your heart lies. Like there's so many simple truths in there. Even just about money. If you don't even look at it as a religious. Anyway. So I was thinking about, I know I'm going everywhere, man. But it's been a few days. This is my first time being able to do this with alone time in like 4 days. Anyway. And I'm thinking about how like my mom was not in debt. I think that's one of the things that killed her too, because I'm like, bro, why did my mom, one of the last things when we talked on the phone, she was talking about like, oh, I'm in debt. Oh, there's too many medical bills. I'm sorry. I'm like, damn, why is she stressing like this? Like, I'm not a pocket watcher. But I know one thing. My mama woke up every single day checking her bank account. So it's on her laptop. I just so happened to see it once when she was transferring me money. And I'm like, damn, she has a considerable amount of money. And she didn't work like that. She worked part-time over the span of what, 7, 8, 9 years. And she was right. She got right, G. You understand? So I may have asked for money here and there every once in a while. But I know that these daughters were plotting and planning. And because I'm thinking, bro, how is she going to die? Like thinking like, oh, I'm in so much debt. I'm like, even if it was the ambulance, even if it was the medical bills, like, even if it was all this shit, like, bro, I know she was straight. Why is she thinking she's in debt to the point where you're telling her you have to sell her car to pay her debt off? I'm like, bro, it ain't mathing for me. You know, that's why I was so upset, really. And then when it came to the funeral, I know without a doubt, more than likely, they dug a hole the size of a casket and put the ashes anyway. But it's like, bruv, I tried to tell you from the beginning, I don't agree. I don't think she agreed with it, but go ahead and do what you want. You decide to include me and have me sign a document. I don't want no part in that. I'm not signing off on my mom. And that's really all it was, because I didn't sign it, bitch. That's what matters to me. Fuck the arguments and shit. Like, we cool. But it's like, I'm not going to sign off on that. And if you would answer my phone call, you would have known I don't care. If you want to, go ahead. That's what I was saying, but I'm not going to be a part of it. You're trying to make me a part of it or feel it. I don't want to. That's all it was. It wasn't nothing serious. And then she's going to say, oh, but you borrowed all this money from mama. I'm like, bruv, you're acting like you're not been plotting for the last 10 years. Like, my dad and my sister had over the years told me shit I didn't know, and I'm like, damn. So it's like, everyone knows you're scheming. Just nobody ever said anything to you. Like, no one had the balls to say, hey, what the fuck you doing with my mom? Like, maybe you should stay the fuck away. But, we're Christians, all love, all love. And I know that my dad and my sister behaved in a certain way, because I said from the gate, because I needed to, TMI, I needed to be on retention for weeks leading up to this. I knew I was fighting a spiritual battle. I knew I needed to get my mind right and not consume so much food, and be present and meditate and fast for a certain degree, even if it was just 16 hours. Had to be in right consciousness. I blew my cover, broke my character a little bit, texted her all this shit, because it's like, bro, we know you're plotting and scheming. You're going to call me out on borrowing money from my mom, but you're a straight up thief, You've been plotting, I asked for it, you just took it, basically. And so we had a little argument, but I then regressed, and I told my dad, who was in the hospital at the time. I was like, because it was a spiritual, I feel like, or a mental thing for him, my sister Sarah, because my dad had an event, because on New Year's he was in the hospital because his heart was pulsing too damn fast, and who knows what that was due to. He's been stressing over the years, so, but just his main concern is always like, I gotta get out of this hospital and go to work. That kind of stress on his brain, like all the time racking his brain, kind of like how I am with my negative talk. Like, it does something to you, like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, he's over here, but he's like, man, it was a whole experience being alone in this hospital and hearing, because he was in the medical section or whatever, what is that, the ER, and they were like, he's hearing screaming and all this shit, and he's like, I could only imagine, because he went to see my mom when she was like losing consciousness, and he was only there for like the first 5 minutes, but he didn't even go back in to check with her, bro. Well, he did stayed there for a short time, and they left me alone, and because I was alone with her for about 4 or 5 hours straight, to be real, 6 hours straight, 7 hours straight. My dad said it was a good while. It was about 5 or 6 hours, a good amount of time. Just me and her. I'm just standing there holding her hand, just being there with her, G. And I could have sworn that my mama put her hands on me and on my head. I remember still, I made a face, B, because I went in to hug her, because I'm like, bro, I bet no one showed her like genuine love or hugged her or nothing, asked her how she's doing really intently. So I was like, I wonder how long it's been, so I just hugged her. And she put her hand on my head, and I remember I was like, that's why I stayed there for a minute, because I was like, is she praying over me right now? It just seemed like something my mama would do. So I'm like, man, is she praying over me? I feel like she did, because I had an abundance of peace, bro. Yeah, I had my feelings, bro. And I let it be known. My dad knew I was pissed. My girl knew I was pissed, bro. Honestly, I always envisioned that if someone called me and said my mama died, I'd be like, fuck you. Whoever it is, like, I'd be like, honestly, they would have regretted having to be the person to call me, because I'd be like, fuck you, stop lying, bitch. Boom! Break my phone, start dipping, wherever the fuck I am. I'm at work, I'm fucking driving with my female, wherever the fuck I am, I'm out the door, running, dipping. I'm like, I'm running. I'm like, which way am I running? I'm running towards Austin. I'm running towards my mama. I'm like, I'm running. until I can't run no more. Then I'm walking and I'm gonna keep going until it gets dark. I'm gonna keep fucking going. I don't know why. I was just like, I'm gonna start running. I just figured I'd fucking lose my shit. But I believe, like, seeing my mom having these last words with her and me thinking, really, like, she prayed over me. I feel like that gave me abundantly peace. I don't know, maybe she didn't, but I'm saying these are the last times we were able to communicate. I was asking her, like, hey, is this? You trying to say this? What a boo boo boo? And she's like, she ain't able to speak, but she's like nodding her head. And so last point of communication to a degree, I was able to speak my mind and have my peace and tell her, look, I'm sorry. I should have done more. I could have done more. I'm sorry. And at first, like, I was just like, I was like, nah, you can't do this. We got to take these trips we always talked about. We got, you know what I'm saying? We got so much to do. And then her trying to consume all the food. And I'm like, damn, she hasn't eaten in 14 days, but she's trying to eat just so she can speak to me. And she's trying so hard. And I'm like, bro, like, I know this is usually your time to sleep. Like, it's getting late. I'm like, so, and I felt bad seeing her try so hard to try to communicate. I was just like, Mom, get your rest. Like, I'll come back. That's the last thing I told her, and I was like, this is what I tell her every motherfucking time. And I even knew it in the moment. I was like, I told her, like, the last few years, every time, I'll be back. I'm coming back. Who knows when the fuck I come back? Weeks, months. I knew it. The fucking cat, G, man. Somebody's crying up in this bitch. Oh, you just want to point the blame with that little street bad all the time, baby. You know what I'm saying? What we gotta do? Call over to kitty, man. Kitty, baby. Kitty. CJ. Come on, kitty. Who you is? What you doing right here? Yo, baby. Man, I hear that cat, but it's on some shit, man. Anyway, I know I'm wilding, man. I'm all over the place, but I just see everything happening for a reason, man. You know, and really I was thinking, cause like, man, my mom was stressing about bills, but I know she was straight. I'm not a penny watcher. I'm not watching your pockets or nothing. I'm just saying, I know my mom was straight. Like, even with those bills, like, I feel like even if they were high as fuck, my mom said $800 a day. I'm like, where the fuck are you getting those numbers? $800 a day to stay at this place. And the whole time I'm thinking, my mom's in a rehabilitation place, like, she's trying to get better. No, she's in a fucking old folks home where people go to fucking die. Literally the last stop. Motherfuckers crazy, losing their minds and shit, shitting themselves and shit. I'm like, what the? She's been here for what, 6 months, 8 months? Like, god dang, boy. If I thought my mom was in rehabilitation, and that's what I get, because if I had fucking traveled, I would have known this is not no rehab center. This is dead folks' home. Get the fuck out of here. I would have thrown her over my shoulder and took her to live here, which is what we talked about doing, me and my girl. My girl was even down, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do it because we're not married. My mom's going to be upset. Fuck that shit. Could have moved my mama right here to this room. Something. But I didn't know. See, like, she's literally not getting up out of bed at all. But it's all on me. It's all on me, G. I could have gone up there. And I think that's what killed everybody, G. Like, fuck. Like, her best friend, my dad, my sister, Sarah, everyone. My cousin even called me on Christmas, because she died on Christmas. She called me that night when it was dark, and I went outside to answer the phone. She's like, damn, it's been years, man. We were close. We were homies. Like, reconnect. Stay in the link, you know? And I'm like, damn, bro, that's fucked up, because I know she knows about my past is fucked up. And she still wants to be cool with me. Like, my family, my sister, my dad, my mom, my friends, even when I kept fucking up, they all want to chill with me, homeboy. They all want good for me. They all want me around. And I'm like, fuck, how the fuck do you want me around? Like, I'm fucked up. And I'm still guilt and shame loop and don't want to be around these people because I'm like, fuck, bro, like you're accepting me. I'm like, I can't accept me. I can't accept that. You know, you want to be cool with me with my fucked up past? Ah, hell nah. Because it's still in my mind that I'm fucked up, G. And then it's like out of pity and shame, I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, they still know this about me and they still want to be cool with me? I'm like, oh, hell no, G. That's really what it is. Guilt, shame, self-pity, self-loathing. And really all that is just not being grateful. Not being grateful enough, man. I woke up this morning with electricity, AC, I'm out of the cold. I didn't even know it was cold out there. If I went outside right now, I'd be ill prepared. Shorts and a short sleeve shirt? Hell no. But anyway, I was just so grateful. I was thinking this morning because I was like, damn, I know my sister Sarah felt a lot of shame or guilt, not shame, but guilt about not being here for my mama, knowing that things were bad. But I'm like, bro, that's on her oldest daughter. She could have called when it had been 3 days, 5 days. She called after it had been 14 days. And so, yeah, like to a point it was traumatic for everyone, you know. But it's good you didn't come because I don't think you would have handled seeing what I saw very well, honestly. And but I am glad that I personally got to get those last minutes with my mom. You know, it was all a journey, a lesson, bro. I see it all, but yeah, I always picture myself wilding out. Even my girl, she's like, I'm scared. She said that like the first time, like, or on the drive home the second time, she's like, I'm scared. I've always been scared. She said it a few times in my life because my mom wasn't doing so well for the past 2 years. She's like, I'm scared. Even when we stayed at the apartments, I think she said it. She's like, if something happened to your mom, I don't know how you would react. I feel like you'd go crazy. Like, yeah, up until that point where I feel like my mom prayed over me when I was in that room, that time when it was just me and my girl. When we drove back the second time after my mom lost consciousness, no response, nothing there. That second time, the first time we went, it was me, her, and my dad. So it was a different vibe. But it kind of set the tone for the second trip too. Second trip is just me and my girl. My mom, no response. We decorate her room. A little too late, but there was zero decorations on the wall. The whole time she was there, it's just fucking what? Nothing. No TV, ain't shit. TV, but it's like a little scrawny. How you gonna have the most expensive motherfucker in the place, the Bel Air, fucking spaz, fucking spanking nice and shit, and you got a shitty ass little hangout TVs, not a flat screen or nothing, like a little fucking, it's fucking weird, dude. I'm like, this is your TV and it's just local stations. You can't even plug in like the YouTube or any of these apps on a fucking TV so you can actually watch what the fuck you like. Like, this is fucked. No decorations. So we went back the second time with all this stuff, all these pictures. We went out of our way. What's crazy is I listened to this video where this guy I look up to said, you could, it's so crazy, bruv, because this was like a few days before Christmas, a few days before, you know, the New Year's, and this guy I listened to, someone edited his videos, that's my whole thing, and we're on our way out of town, and I'm already stressing, G. My girl goes inside by herself, because I didn't want to go. She kind of yelled at me to go. She's going inside to print out these pictures to hang on my mama's wall. And I'm just thinking, I'm going to listen to something that I usually would listen to or something. I usually listen to this crap when I'm working out. But I listened to this video, and it's more calm, so it's not even working out. But the guy says, you could have saved your mother. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like going to see my mom for the last time, mind you, by the way. Didn't know it then. And he has this 25-minute speech, G. And I'm like, bro, this is exactly what the hell I needed to hear. you could have saved your mom. And that's the thing. This whole time I didn't communicate with my friends and family, shunning myself out, hating on yourself. Your people just want to love you, G. Even with your mistakes. They still want to fuck with you. And that's the part I can't wrap my head around. I'm like, what the fuck? You want to be friends with me? I'm a fucking piece of shit. And that's why I avoided my family, my cousins, everyone, my mom. But it's like, fuck, bro. I avoided my mom. And then she had no reason to live. I'm the only one that could impress something on her. And these girls were no good because my mom was an office administrator. My mom ran my Cub Scout leader. She was a Cub Scout leader of the pack. And she did a damn good job. Like, one of the moms from that thing when I was a child came to her funeral because she was like, that's one of the greatest memories that our family has is the scouting, because we went on all these trips and we did all these activities. Like, my mom was the boss, office administrator, and these girls induced in her mind mentally hypnosis over time, saying, oh, you know you don't handle this stuff so well. You're not good at this. I'll take care of it. You know you're no good at this. You know grandma died this way. You know you're getting sick just like her. You need to watch out. Like, all this negative vibration, bro. Limited belief system or what? Self-inducing thoughts, honestly. When they moved her to that elderly community when she left Houston, bro, 4 months later I come, she already looked dramatically different. Even my sister said something and she was in a different spot. I sent her a picture and was like, whoa, she looks old. And it had only been 4 months. Imagine 4 years. I'm sorry. But I'm just saying, bruv, the mental capacity is all displayed right there, to the point where literally last year she gave up. Didn't even enter 2025, bro, and I feel like it's for a reason, G. Which is good. Because I always pictured, what if something went crazy? What if the world went haywire? Who am I running with? I'd be like, I'm running with my boys back at the house. I'm running with my dad and my mom and my sister Sarah if she's ready. But now she's in Washington, so fuck them. I would only rep for my boys, my dad, and my mom. If shit goes crazy, yeah, no disrespect, but I'm leaving this girl. She'll go chill with her family, but I'm like, if shit gets rowdy, am I gonna go chill with them? Yeah, I know I'd be straight. They're prepared. They're good. You dig? But I'm like, no, I'm gonna be with my people if shit went to shit. And it's, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I want to be with my people. Well, my mom's gone. What would I have to do? Especially since she was ill-willed, I have to throw her over my shoulder. And no disrespect, but that's a commodity? No. That's a fucking liability. Not really a liability though, because that's my mama. But I'm saying, if I gotta carry her and make sure she's straight and shit, I either have stuff set up, but I ain't got shit set up. Now I feel like 2025, everything's gonna go like boom. It's a time vacuum for real, G. Like, I feel like time is ticking. Fuck who's the president. Fuck all that shit. Fuck anything. Like, we talking about biblical prophecy up in here. That's why my name is Joshua Daniel. Understand the prophecy of Daniel? Go read that book. That's all you need to know. We are the feet. We are the clay. And in my view, everything is crumbling. Like, it's slow motion. That fucking statue is in the middle of falling in real time. Roman Empire, Ottoman Empire, whatever else. The Greece started with Greece. Whatever. We are the last of this prophecy's dream of the king of Babylon. Richest man in Babylon? Who is the king of Babylon? Nebuchadnezzar, who turned to an animal behavior in the wild for like years. How many years? Was it 7 or 11? I don't know. But my man was gone. Then he came back to his right mind. But he was the king. And sometimes I relate to him. Or I think I do. But here's the thing. He came out of that darkness, just like the children of Israel, the wilderness. Who is it? Moses. All these people did wrong, G. Joseph didn't do wrong. But my mom's, I don't think so. But my mom said, he did fuck with his brothers for getting at him. But still, My mom said she named me after Joshua and Daniel because there's really two guys you can't really speak too ill about. I believe in the Bible, and Joshua was a conqueror. That boy slaughtered men for the name of God. I'm just saying he was a warrior. He rose up in the early morning while it was still dark. Like, he was bad to the bone. You read through the chapters, it's like it's just him conquering cities and defense in the name of God. Fighting, bro. So we have the fighting, then we have Daniel, the praying, the meditating, the spiritual side, have the ability to be thrown into a den of lions and have that peace that you seek. You dig? Anyway, that peace of God is what I felt with the whole situation with my mom. I wanted to be irrational. I wanted to do what my feelings said, not go to the funeral, to talk bad or ill will towards the oldest daughter. But I set a tone in the beginning just because I was like, I told my dad and my sister, because they were quite upset as well. I said, I want to come at this with peace and still see how this can, in mom's memory, what would, she would want us to be joined together. How can we use this as a way to spread the love of God towards these folks? And they took that tone and ran with it. My dad showed up, my sister showed up. No ill will. My sister blew up a little bit because she was like, they already buried her, and she spazzed out. She ended up going, what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna fucking do? So like, yeah, that was it, man. But the fact that it's like this woman tried to play me, because I was thinking, like, I know my mom had money, alright? She was straight. And any debt she really did have was because these women added it to her. You're going to put her in this expensive ass place months on end and have her pay the bill? That's kind of fucked up, G. Like, you're taking her to the most expensive motherfucking place in town. Like, fuck you, asshole. You know what I'm saying? How you going to put her in this expensive ass place and you're having her pay the bill? Fuck off. That's how I felt. And it's like, bro, you're acting like you don't have money. You flaunt all your shit. You're big time. You wear this expensive shit, drive expensive shit. Like, you're so big time, always busy. You want to show that shit off. But it's like, you're going to complain about funeral costs? It's like, bro, if you had spoken to me, you would have understood. I never had a fucking problem with that. I understand it's for the money. What, 3 G's with a cremation compared to 10 G's with a funeral, at a burial? I get it. I understand. Like, we all know you're on some shit, you dig? But, I kept my cool, man, and went through the whole thing. And I just told them, they even all asked me, like, is everything okay? I'm like, yeah, we cool, man. Everybody's cool. Just because I put on this face. And it's like, bro, because I was thinking this morning, like, I'm not tripping about money. Even though so-called I should be, because my girl has all these bills to pay and shit. And that's a responsibility. But I'm like, I'm not worried. I can work a minimum wage job, $13 an hour, even though I know I'm worth at least $20 an hour. But I'm like, even if I work the very minimum, like, I can still assist this girl with bills, and then progress yourself, add commodity to yourself, or add value to yourself, get a diploma, certificate, license, you know what I'm saying? Add a little value, earn a little more, work a little more, save a little more, you dig? That's it. Create your own environment. Oh, I'm a product of my environment. Yeah, but we're also the 3% up in this bitch. We change motherfuckers. 75% more likely to be obese if you're friends with somebody who's obese. 25% or 10% more likely, something like that, more likely to be obese if you're friends with somebody who's friends with somebody who's obese. These are just fucking rules, okay? I'm just saying. So yeah, you're a product of your environment, but guess what? 25% more likely, we're the 75%. You did. We change our environment. We change the people from negativity to positivity. We do more, we wake up earlier, and we're more consistent. We don't break character. We have morals that we stand by. no drinking, no smoking, no sex before marriage or sex outside of the relationship at the bare minimum. We stay loyal, we're truthful, we don't lie, we have good intention. We meditate and stay present. So when I invest in myself and then focus on investing in others, so that when I tell somebody that I love them and I have their back, they feel it and it's not just open-ended. I was thinking about something that Kendrick said. He was being interviewed by a little girl, and he said something that was phenomenal, and they even used it in a post or something, or an edit. And I was like, wow, that man said something very collectively said, well-mannered and thoughtful, and it was spur of the moment, and it was real quick, and it was real short, but it was in depth, it was insightful. And I was thinking, that's what Big West is talking about. How, like, you know, I meditated, I got my mind right, I got my body right, and then I went with the intention, because everything is vibration and frequency. And so you could say something or do something for somebody but still have ill intention or talk badly about them in your mind, and then you're going to fuck up the vibration, because even though you haven't said it, you're thinking it. Therefore it inhibits in your habits and your flow and the way you look, think, your attitude, everything. Dogs can sense when you're mad, angry, sad. You know, so think positive. And something I learned when I worked fast food was there was this white boy who was getting on my nerves, and I'm sure I got on his nerves. I don't know why, though, except for like maybe he was jealous or didn't like me, or I didn't work good enough or at his pace or whatever. And so we like bumped heads, I feel like, a little bit, because like if he ever tried to talk a little smack, which, you know, not nothing serious, but or talk back or whatever it was, I would just not respond, or just respond however, be like, no, yeah, you know, whatever I was feeling, like I just, you know. And then I heard something where it was like, I think it was from Zerka. Damn, that's the thing, bro. That's the thing about these folks, you know, Tate, Zerka, whoever. But it's like, you take the gold with the dirt, like Jordan Peterson said from these philosophers or whatever. He's like, they say you take the gold away from the dirt, take the good, leave the bad, you know. So, and that's really all it is, because even if you do like something, like I looked up to Wes and he's working out, but he's working out like crazy, pushing high numbers, no days off, whatever. And I'm like, okay, you just have to be consistent, or find your own groove, or take a part of that, right? Like, I'm gonna work 3 times a week, but I'm gonna keep my word, stuff like that. I'm not gonna have any vices, I'm not gonna partake in any things that I regret. You know, all stuff like that. Whatever it is, you take the good pieces. You're not going to agree with everything that they say 100%. Like, you don't have to even like them. But and that's for me. I go into the enemy's camp, but I don't do it to join their warfare. I still understand their the opposition, but maybe they have good habits and such. Like the German Blitzkrieg, whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you take certain strategics and you fucking incline, like, and that's something that I'm still trying to get a grip on, but I started realizing it in the last year. Is like, okay, I'm trying to follow, over the years, I take one significant person and try to follow their everything. It's like, no, what it was is you take a little bit of pieces of their knowledge and then put it with your basis that you stand for and you want to do, and you implement it into your behavior, habits, routines. You take things that connect from there, and you kind of like take it and you shift. That's the fun of it. Shift it your way. What would you do? For me, I'm like, oh, what is it? Do I do push-ups? Do I do burpees? Do I go to the gym? Do I go out for nature walks? Do I work on mechanics? Do I go to the army? Do I go get my CDL? What do I do? Do I become a businessman? Do I become a fitness coach? I'm like, It's all good, family. But that's why you got to get inclined with that voice, B. You got to get inclined with that small, still voice. You know, and that's why I got to get back in the book. I haven't been reading a good book, you know. Because you're over here trying to make plans yourself. It's like God laughs at your plans, man. You should be asking him straight up. You should be getting more inclined with that voice. You should be doing more meditating. You should be clocking in more praying hours, bro. You don't even pray for minutes or seconds, B. Pray over your food real quick in my own mind when I should be stopping my girl and saying, hey, let's pray before we eat. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good, man. It's all good. You know, it's just I gotta get back in contact with my dad. Like I got a legacy that's gotta be had, bro. I gotta do something in remembrance of my mama. You know, and the only way it's gonna work is if I'm in discernment, if I'm connected with that. I need to. This is the Matrix. When in the very beginning, when Neo answers the phone call, and Morpheus is like, "Wait, duck, hide, turn right, wait. All right, now go on the ledge." Like you gotta be in tune with the Most High to know when to do this. Boom, boom, boom. You gotta be so precise with it. And that's what I've been feeling in the back of my head. It's like, bruv, you gotta know your moves. All your moves have to be accurate. You can't afford a misstep, especially in these days and times, especially with the speed that everything's about to take. You know, time only speeds up, right? In the future. That's what the good book says. Like, things are going to get so bad, time is going to get sped up because of the crucialness of everything happening all the time. If you feel like time is flying by now, it's going to fly by even faster, baby, and it's going to get worse before it gets better, but it's all right. You don't pray for easier storms. You pray for the strength to sustain through the storm. Good God, where's the glory? What's up, family? It's 10:30 a.m. What are you doing, bruv? What's my purpose? I'll tell you my purpose. To serve God, family. That should be your only question. Dang it. And we back to my mama. But what does God want for me? What am I going to do? Fight for the Lord.